everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, my name is Tara and today I am doing a fall makeup tutorial for you. I wore this look the other day. I was just running errands. I went to the mall, I went to the bank, I went to the grocery store. I was just, kind of running all over the place. And I can't even tell you how many compliments I got on this makeup look. And I was like, wow, everybody is really loving this look. So I was like, I have to film this for you guys. I posted a picture on Snapchat wearing this makeup look and people were snapping me back saying, oh my gosh, I hope you filmed this. I love this look. So I decided I had to get on camera right away and film it while I still remembered every single product that I used. I'm really excited because I used a ton of the new Makeup Geek matte eyeshadows that I have been loving. I am obsessed with this lip color by Colourpop. I have just been loving their liquid lipsticks. If you haven't seen my most recent haul video where I show you all the swatches, I'll leave the link down below so you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial and let's get started. Alright, so I moved you guys in super close so you can see everything that I'm doing. I have already done my eyebrows and I'm moving on to priming the eyelids, and today I'm going to be using MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I love this primer because it really does make my eyeshadow last a lot longer without creasing, and I love that it has some pigment to it, so when I apply it to the lids it covers up any veins or discoloration on my eyelids and just leaves a nice even base for when I go in with the eyeshadow. So recently what I've been doing before moving on to adding the color, I like to apply a white base to the lids just because then when I go in with all of the different shadows, it kind of makes everything just pop 10 times more because you're using a clean, fresh white base. So I am taking this eyeshadow by Morphe in the color Porcelain. It's just a matte white, and I'm going to use my Sigma E59 brush and just pat this all over the lid, just creating a nice base. Next, I'm picking up this shade called Beaches and Cream from Makeup Geek, and I'm going to use my Sigma E40 brush to just blend this right into the crease, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. So from here on out, I'm pretty much using Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So if I don't say the name of the brand, it's because it's Makeup Geek. If I use a Morphe shadow or something like that, I will let you know if it's something different. But this is a Makeup Geek shadow in the color Vintage. So I'm going to be taking this color and placing this right into the crease using my Sigma E25. Next, I'm going to pick up this beautiful color called Cherry Cola and just layering that right on top of Vintage. This Cherry Cola color is so gorgeous. I love that it has the red undertones because it really adds like a unique touch to the makeup look, but it's still very wearable. It's not like burgundy red, it's a brown red. So I just love it. I think it's so pretty. Next, I'm picking up the shade Americano, which is just this beautiful, very rich brown shade, and placing this on the outer corner of the eye. Next, I'm going back in with the color Beaches and Cream, and I'm going to be placing this right into the crease again, just to sort of blend these colors that I have been adding to the eye. And I don't know if you can tell the difference already, but it really just softens those edges and doesn't make it look so crazy as this eye. It's starting to look a little bit more blended. Using that same brush I was just using, I'm going to pick up the shade Corrupt, which is just a matte black, and we're going to be placing this right on top of Americano on the outer corner of the eye. And then what I like to do is go back in with a little bit of Cherry Cola and Vintage and sort of mix them together. Just dip my brush into each of the shadows and take it and blend over the outer corner. Now what I like to do is go back in with that white shade that I picked up first in the color Porcelain, and I like to just pack this onto the lid. Just gives me a better idea of what the finished look is going to look like, and then I touch up things that I feel like need to be touched up. I'm also taking that same shade and I'm going to be placing it under my brow bone. This still looks very messy. This is just one of those looks where it looks messy until you start cleaning it up and adding the eyeliner and all that good stuff. So I'm going to place this right underneath the brow bone. And then I take my brush with no additional product and just blend right over that, so that way it's not too harsh of a highlight. Okay, so now this is where I take a makeup wipe and just clean up underneath the eyes and clean up the outer corners and see what needs to be touched up before moving on to liner. So now I just want to build up the color. I just want this to be a little bit more intense. So I'm going to take the colors that I have already placed on my lid and just reapply them. Moving on to liner, I'm taking this NYX matte liquid liner. I have been using this recently and loving it. Moving on to lashes, I'm going to be using the Koko lashes in the style Goddess. When I get my lashes on, I like to quickly curl them because it'll help them stand straight up. I'm using my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara and just applying some right at the base of the lashes. I don't want to go any farther than just the base because I don't want the lashes to look noticeably fake. Next, I like to just take a little bit of my gel liner. This one is by Maybelline, and I take this little silicone brush by Real Techniques and I line my waterline. Okay, so right now I'm done with the eyes. I will go back and touch up the lower lash line once I have applied my foundation. So let's go ahead and move on to the face. For primer, I'm using the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. Looks like this. And I just like to focus this mainly in my T-zone just to smooth over any texture, pores, and it also helps keep the makeup on a lot longer. Moving on to foundation, I'm using my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. Mine is in the shade Light 3 Gobi. So I just like to dot the foundation all over my face first. This was just 2 pumps of the foundation. And today I'm using my Morphe M439 brush to just buff this into the skin. Moving on to concealer, I'm taking my favorite concealer of the moment. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Warm. So I like to apply my concealer mainly in the center of my face. It just brings it forward, draws more attention to the center of the face, and just really brightens it up. So I'm going to start by applying it underneath the eyes. This, I like to go around the mouth, down the nose, and then up onto the forehead. Now I'm just going to blend this out using a damp beauty blender and really just work it into the skin. So I've been using this brush called the Morphe G2 to blend out my concealer for the past couple of days. I do like it, but I do find that I have to use my beauty blender to still really go in and make sure that it's completely blended. But I like this because it doesn't pick up as much product as the beauty blender does when it's blending it out, so I still get that really full coverage. And the powder that I'm using is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and this brush is the Morphe M438. So I just like to pick a little product up and then just set it everywhere that I applied my concealer, just to make sure that it doesn't move throughout the day and to make sure that it really just stays in place. To set the rest of my face, I am going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. It just looks like this. I never used to do this step, but I feel like when I do set the rest of my face, when I apply my bronzer and my contour, I feel like it just blends so much more easily into the skin. Moving on to bronzer, I'm taking my Sephora bronzer in the shade number 3, and then I'm taking this brush by Morphe. It's the M527 brush. I have been loving this for bronzer. I just got this brush and I really like it so far. I also like to bring this down onto my neck as well because, again, you want everything to always match. To blend out the bronzer, I'm using this Real Techniques powder brush. I also like to take a little bit of that bronzer and run it down each side of my nose. I feel like the face looks weird if you have like a bronzed outside of your face and then your nose is just pale. So I'm using the M441 brush from Morphe just to apply some bronzer down the sides of the nose. For blush, I'm using one from Makeup Geek. This is in the color Romance. And I'm just going to take my Sigma F40 brush and apply this to the cheeks. I'm going to be using a highlighter from Colourpop. This one is in the color Smokin' Whistles. It looks like this. It's so pretty. I'm using my e.l.f. small stipple brush to apply this right onto the high points of my cheeks, and then I'll put some on my nose as well. Woo! Oh my gosh, that is intense. Was not expecting that. Wow, that's pretty. I'm also going to take some of this product and place it just above the arch of my brow. For my contour shade today, I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs Light Filtering Contour Palette, and I'm obviously taking the contour color. To blend out the contour, I'm using the Morphe M436. And then to sharpen up that contour line, I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in 110, which is a shade lighter than the one that I used to set my foundation. And I'm just going back in with my M438 brush and just running this right along below the contour line. And as you can see, this just really cleans up that edge and makes a really crisp contour. And then I kind of just blend the powder down so that way it's not one thick, crazy line. Going back to the lower lash line, I'm going to then pick up the shade Vintage again and place this right under that lower lash line. Before I move on to the lower lash mascara, I like to set my face using whatever setting spray that I'm using. Today I'm going to be using the MAC Fix Plus. It's not technically a setting spray, but it just gives my skin a nice luminous finish. Next, I'm taking this brush by Morphe. This is the E18 brush, and I'm taking the Makeup Geek shadow in the color Shimma, dipping this into that shade, spraying it with a little Fix Plus, and then popping this right on the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to set my brows using the Ulta Brow Tint in the color Light. I'm using L'Oreal Telescopic to apply to my lower lashes, and then once I'm done with that, I'll move on to the lip color. Now moving on to the lips, I did wipe off the gloss that I had on my lips, and I'm using the Colourpop liquid lipstick in the color Chili Chili to apply to my lips. Okay, while this is drying, I'm going to go do my hair and I will come back so you can see the finished look. Alright, so I just went ahead and took my hair down, and this is the finished look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying my videos, please don't forget to subscribe for a new video every week, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Bye!